Live from YMSL Studios, welcome to the Week 4 edition of the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Moravia, with Max Sutton from Sutton and Sons Landscaping Company.
That's right. And by the way, and sons, literally. God bless my 6-year-old.
First of all, we got to start the day, Max. The whole league owes you a ton of gratitude for making it playable last week.
Ironically, except for the Raw organization that didn't play, but probably better because I was exhausted. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not going to call it fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a fun day. I'll say that.
I mean, it was probably one of the worst storms we've seen
in
years. Not only was the field flooded, the streets getting to
everything. Unbelievable. My street was
6
flooded.
inches of water.
Yeah, it was basements that got, really badly.
It was torrential. But Monday, Max, for Sunday night and Monday, Max worked extremely hard and for the first, probably one of the more bizarre days in YMSL.
I'll tell you what, but
a lot of fun.
Yeah, aside for the work and all that we put in, and my kids did a lot of work, and we're happy to help. And I'd like to give shout out to a couple league members. God bless you all. But a lot of people like this idea of matchups throughout the day,
back to back.
Yeah, and people are saying maybe it's something that should be done in the future for a weekend. I don't know if that'll happen.
I'll tell you what you could do if you do it before the year starts and schedule it from before the year,
right?
So this way people know that we're playing 12 o'clock and
if it's a gorgeous day, fine. But if you have a threat of rain, you say, "Shut up, everybody! We're playing in the morning."
Yeah, it is.
But it was a cool idea because you had people lurking on the field.
And, you had a lot of people watching.
Yeah, because you're ready for your matchup. You came to watch. You finished your matchup. You stayed to watch.
People came back 2-3 times.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Lunch, came back.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Interesting concept, and it actually got a little nicer in the afternoon.
It did. It got very nice. So the field got better as the day went on. Also, of course, it was a little mushy early.
By the second game.
Yeah, then it got good. Great. Exactly. So let's jump right in.
All right. So the first matchup was a great matchup. Was Z-Pack against the first place O's, coming in 5-1. So a lot of people are like skeptical on the O's and saying that they didn't play anybody,
too early, right? They didn't.
And coming in against Navy in major test again, playing without Jackie Haber, the second time I believe this year.
Yeah, and they did something ironic, the Z-Pack organization, which was pretty cool. They put Avi Dweck in left field and put Buka Cohen, David Cohen, at second base.
Right.
Now, usually David Buka Cohen is their outfielder, so you would think maybe Avi Dweck, who's sometimes an infielder, they put him at second, but they elected to put Buka at second, who played great.
He really played very good.
And Avi's been playing a very good outfield. So I guess he did a good job in the outfield the week before that, Avi. So they left him out there in left field. And Avi's lost weight recently, and he's in better shape. So I guess he's having an easier time running out there.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, rookie phenom Ruby Shabar was in short center.
Yeah,
very good.
And now it's funny. We had the opportunity to actually watch a lot of matchups. Usually I hear about it. I make phone calls. We find out things. This time we saw it firsthand. And I got to tell you, Navy, people say he wasn't on, but he's filthy, man.
Yeah.
That ball comes in quick, and it's like a different animal. You're seeing everybody else pitch, and then ball zips.
Yeah, now, with control also, I mean.
Right. So now this week he had 10 walks. He did have 10 walks.
That many,
yeah, he had 10 walks. And I must say, in the game that he won, the first game, the game started off with Nathan Vitesh.
Yeah, clocking a triple.
I played with him quite a few times. I watched him. He clocked the ball. My goodness. Flew around the bases, opening the game with a triple, and then his father ended up getting a big 2-out hit to make it 3-0, and that was really all they needed. And they ended up tacking on more late.
The final score was 6-2.
Right, 6-2. Okay.
Right.
Now, credit to Jackie Talos' team. They did get on base. They worked. I think that's why those walks.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get that big hit. There was
and he got big outs when he got guys on base. He got
first and second, nobody out. He struck out the youngster Hazid Soltau. That's like an awakening. You see Nathan Vitesh. Nobody has an easy time. Definitely not going to be easy for him. And then his biggest out that inning, it was still a close game. I think it was 3-1. Jordy Rameld was at the plate. Second and third. Second and third. And Stephen Shalou, who he had no problem hitting Nathan Vitesh, 4 for 6 with a home run and a triple. And I saw his shots, real shots. He bombed to left field. His first at bat, he turned on a fastball for a hit. he's having no issues at all. But Jordy Romeld was up with Chalou on deck, second and third, tying run and scoring position, and Nathan buckled down and got him. That was probably the biggest out of that game. And good defense all around. Big shout-out web gem in the game was a big spot was Zach Ashkenazi. Louis Franco, who probably hit the ball harder than everybody against Nathan Batesh. He really had a couple of great swings.
And he took a little buzz to the head from
Navy. I didn't see that.
From all the heckling that he was doing.
Okay, he could be funny. He says some stuff that made me laugh.
And his father was very proud. He showed up to watch him.
He tipped his cap to him.
Yeah, he was in rare form.
He made me laugh. I'm not gonna. But Zach, I think it was first and third, 2 out, made a diving stop to end the inning. It saved the run. It was a big defensive play by Zach. Everybody, the infielders like the soft field.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
it.
Yeah,
You don't get these crazy hops.
Yeah, but you did mention he actually hit very good.
He did. He a couple of great swings. He got on base a few times and hit the ball hard.
Worked the count. He got some big hits.
So now that was game 1. They went on, like you said, they won a whole hum 6-2. It was closer than the score indicated. Right. It was 3-1 for a long time, and then they came out and scored at the end. I didn't even see the runs at the end, maybe a few. Game 2 was a different game.
Yeah. I mean, Z-Pack came into the week this year having split all three weeks. So for whatever reason, I guess and it's always game 2 that they seem to lose. So
Nathan, last year I don't think he lost a game 1 till the last week of the season, but I don't think he ever lost a game 1.
Right. So
it could be he's fading a little bit game 2. He is a fastball pitcher, so maybe he loses some gas. And they hit him. Game 2, they hit him. And there was a couple, I don't remember which game it was. Now it's getting mixed in. Like Teddy Ashkenazi made a sliding catch with bases loaded.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, Maurice Haber hit it. That could have been a bunch of runs. If that was in game 1, that could have been a game saver. But in game 2, Maxi Deed came up with a big hit against Nathan. Maurice himself got a lot of guys chimed in and got some big hits. And they went on to score. And they hit him.
They got him, and they split the game. The doubleheader 6-1.
They won the second game 6-1.
Yeah.
So it was a nice 6 runs too.
Yeah, but it's funny. The Navy's been giving up runs in the game too. I mean, I think the Ducks put them up for 7. I think
and it wasn't really errors. You think? I don't know. Truth is, I didn't see game 2, but I don't know how many errors there were or weren't. I'm sure there's always.
Listen, the O's are a very good team, so
it's
not like it shouldn't be a major surprise. I mean, Max pitched very good also.
Yeah, game 2 he was on. He had his riser going for strikes. I think he had like 6 straight fly ball outs.
Right.
I remember watching.
So Z-Pack still at 500, 4-4, and the O's are 6-2. So
you got to imagine. I think Z-Pack's happy at 4-4. They're just trying to get. I think the mindset of a team like that is, we have Nathan. Let's get to the playoffs, right?
And then see who can beat him
in the short series when he's really pumped up. Exactly. So, I mean, are they as scary as his team last year? I mean, this season's early. People are saying maybe last year his lineup was a little stronger.
Right.
But
let's not forget also, I mean, they did play twice without Jackie Abe and 2 weeks without Jackie Abe.
So they had 9 loss of a bat.
So they're, I think, healthy, full squad. They're very
strong. They're a fun squad too, by the way. Watching them, I want it to be on their sideline because it looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah, the young guys. And
they have a good crew, a lot of fun. Of course, you have Lisa on that sideline too as their big cheerleader. That also helps the energy. Mabruk to Sharon, actually. And Steven's daughter, right?
All in attendance, by the way.
That's right.
Sunday. So that was the game 1, the first set of doubleheaders. Now game 2, now not a great matchup by any stretch of the imagination. The Red Hot Bums and the Ice Cold Indians.
So we'll say this: the first 2 games, for whatever reason, took longer or maybe started later, and I mean the results didn't really help much, but. I guess the Indians have to thank their lucky stars that the game was an hour later than it should have been, because the aside for game planning, there was a lookout, and there was a lot of phone calls, and there was a search warrant put out looking for A.B. Cohen, their first round star pitcher, but he did show, and he was there for the first inning.
He claimed he did not get the 23rd confirmation of the day, so. First 22.
I said, yeah, Eddie Michelin said he turned down 3 other people to driving in because he saved the seat for AB, but AB wanted to drive on his own with his Torah tapes, and he made it there. He was there for first pitch. Now, that being said, he pitched well. Game 1.
He pitched game 1. I guess we should say they did have all 12 members of the
Yes,
season,
is that a first time?
Yes.
Okay.
So now that Mo Mala in center, his new position.
Who looks really good, by the way.
Looks very good.
Yeah, he looks good in center.
Billy Miz in left, and you Eliezer, you had Abraham and right.
So John Eliezer came to play. He made a bunch of web.
John Eliezer was there from 8 o'clock.
Early. I think his lift was with Jackie Tal. That's right, and he was there, and he came to play. He was hungry, and he made a couple of great web gem plays. One in particular. Maybe he ran back like 150 feet into center field, went off his glove, and he shot it into Mo Mala's glove. It was a really cool play. And he made a couple of really nice ground ball plays as well. But again, their team just didn't have enough firepower. I mean,
no.
You got to give Jeffrey credit. Jeffrey Saka, he pitched well.
Gold ball and all, he pitched well.
People are saying that, did Jeffrey lose a little zip? Or, I mean, maybe the recipe for a struggling pitcher is the Indians. I don't know. Or maybe Jeffrey really came to play. And I got to say that them Bums team look good. They look good.
They're a very good team.
They're a strong
They might be
group.
The best team out there. And Jack Abadi's playing at another level.
So Jack Abadi hired that guy in the batting cage. I think he sleeps in his house with him. And, he's giving, because he looks incredible at the plate. He's really tearing the cover off the ball. And he always plays a great center
Mark
field.
Brahe ripped a few shots.
He hit the ball well.
Great defense. Yeah.
Usually Mark Brahe does not hit A.B. Cohen, and that was a different story.
Solly Angel, you mentioned, showed some power.
Solly Towel did. The only person that's been hitting that A.B. Cohen really took care of was the rookie, Saul Fallis. I think A.B. Cohen, being crafty, got him off balance or whatnot. But Saul Fallis played very good short center field, too, making every play up the middle, this is my first time seeing Mr. Isaac Goat Danziger. At second base. I haven't seen him since 2007. So I gave him a big hello. It was great to see him. Really sweetest guy, and he's a great second baseman.
Yeah, he's when it comes to defense,
he's got great hands, and you can't forget Sammy Towell.
So he won't let you forget him either.
Okay,
but that team is I don't know. Right now they're really clicking in all cylinders. Chucky behind the plate. Taking charge.
We failed to say, including game 1 and 2 of the day and this game. And the next game, Monday's day was probably more putouts at the plate or on the bases than I've seen in a long time. Whether it's good defense and good assist throwing, or just really poor base running, or a combo of the two.
Good catches also.
Catches. It helps. By the way, it shows you catching position is extremely, extremely important. Very true.
All right, big news from this game. Now we came up with another set of rules for.
Oh yes,
we should address this once.
73.4 on the trees. Well, first off, Bobby said we emailed the township, right? The township, and God willing, they're gonna get the tree.
They will cut it. She guaranteed it's going to be cut. She can't give an exact date, which is good.
She gave an exact date?
No, she couldn't give me. She didn't tell me when, but the work order's in progress.
That's great because
it's great if they chop out a lot.
I'm not sure if it's just people turning more into pull hitters or the trees keep growing more and more. Or maybe the combo of both.
Yeah, the trees. Well, listen, some of the branches definitely in fair territory.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the other one in fair territory. Now, there was a big play in that first game. We didn't talk about David Rishti. Hit a shot.
Probably one of the biggest dead pull hitters.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? Off the bat, you could watch the highlight. We had it on. You have it on video. He stopped running because he was sure that it was going foul. You could see it. He really didn't run, and then the ball just dropped fair. And Kenny O'Donnell didn't see it hit a tree. So everybody just ran, and there was bedlam.
Actually, that's where we're going to correct you on that. If it was Kenny O'Donnell, he had left already. And
he did leave?
So he knows the rule on that. Like, in other words.
No, but I don't even think they saw it hit a tree. You sure it wasn't Kenny in that first game? It was the game 1. It was the first matchup. It was Kenny.
Oh, it was the early game.
Yeah, it was Zach and Dave. I rewound.
Oh, you go back a little.
Because of the tree rule.
Oh, okay.
But Kenny just didn't see it hit a tree.
Oh, yeah, Troy overruled him.
Troy said, I saw it hit a tree. Now, if you look in the replay, it clearly hit the tree.
Right.
So we made an announcement and a rule that if it hits the tree, it's a dead ball, which was the right rule. Now, fast forwarding to the Jacobati matchup.
There's hitting the tree and then there's hitting it.
That's right. So they made a rule that if it hits a tree in the air, it's a dead ball. So now nobody really drew the line. Where is that tree? So Jacobati decided to hit the tree at the other end of the field, 400 feet where the dog was. And here's the interesting thing, Bud. If the tree wasn't there, odds are Billy Miz catches that ball. So this is where it became a little sticky, and they said, you know what? We made an announcement. If it's a tree, it's a foul ball. Granted, and I think it really alleviated a lot of confrontation. It didn't make that big a difference at the time of the game. I think the score was 7-1 late in the game, so nobody really cared. Jack wants the home run, and everybody wants their home run. I get it, but
you got to strike out.
Then he ended up getting out on it.
Well, it was a strike. I mean, it was
right. You got to strike out of it, and I think he made out after that. He flew out the center or whatever he did. He got out on the play, so he's not happy about that. Okay, but you know what? If there's ever a time to get clarity on a rule, it's in a spot like that where it didn't hurt the game. So if it does,
oh God, that was a playoff game, and
my goodness gracious, that could have been World War III. Forget it. So this is where you want to learn it, right? This is where you want to get it. So we ended up clarifying it that if it does hit the trees earlier, as we know.
So meaning, I guess, from third base up until the so-called yellow pole, is that the?
So the yellow pole, right? If you hit the ball all the way down by the yellow pole,
past it has to be
or past it, right? That's where those trees are anyway. If the left fielder catches it off the tree, it's an out.
Right.
But if it hits the tree and nobody makes a play, even if the guy was under it, get all you can.
Oh, you can. That's what it should be.
Okay. What is it? Is it a doable shot? I mean, not everybody can do it, but there are guys that can do it. Hopefully, the township's going to take care of it, and it's a moot point. Right. But for now, that is the rule.
The truth is, it really is only going to happen when you have power hitters. The left field is going to be
playing deep,
very deep, because otherwise, there's no shot of the normal left field.
Right. And even if it hits it, it's not stopping them. And
right.
The ball's just in play.
I think it's a good way to clarify the rule.
So that's what we did. We spoke about it. That is the rule. So done. But the final score, game one,
4-1.
Right. It was a close game.
Actually, we should mention the Indians, which was brought to my attention, took a 1-0 lead, which was their first lead of the year.
Is that true?
Yes.
Really? Wow. And they did. Was it in the first? I think it was in the first inning.
And it was first inning.
It was in the first inning. John Eliezer, I think, got the RBI hit from what I recall. Left field, nice line drive. Wow. That is a wow. But again, 4-1 is just you can't blame the defense. 4 runs and softball against a team like them Bums is not bad at all. Just they didn't hit, and they had opportunities. They had
guys on. They
I think the biggest at bat, the biggest inning for them was first and second, nobody out, and they had 2, 3, 4 in the lineup up. Eddie Michon, Mo Mala, I believe, and then Abraham Hamer. And Eddie on a 3-1 pitch. He got an inside pitch, so he tried to just hit a line drive to left field, and it turned out being a ground ball, forced out at third. So the runners didn't even move over, and then the next guy flew out, the next guy grounded out, and that was the end of the inning. Yeah. I think that was their biggest threat, and that was it. And then game two. Game
1 wasn't bad enough. The Indians took a 2-0 lead in game 2.
Nice.
Yeah, early.
So that's their second lead of the season. Okay.
And but again, that didn't last too long either. I mean, I don't think it lasted an inning. And honestly, I mean, you watched the game as much as I did. AB really had not much.
It was very interesting. There was a few pitchers watching. So AB Saka and Maxi Deed watching, and I was watching, and there was Ali. A lot of guys that pitch were watching. And AB, after that 2-0 lead, looked like he didn't come in with heat.
Yeah.
And you thought, all right, he's gotten on left, he's tired, he's exhausted. But then the ironic thing is the next inning, he was throwing heat again. So did he get a rejuvenation?
Serving or certain batters? He was.
I'm not sure. I mean,
guys he learns with. He was good throwing them.
Give him strikes. I'm really not sure because he was throwing heat later in the game. Maybe he got a second resurgence. He took the Red Bull on the sideline. I don't know, but it was a tough loss again.
All I know is the second game there was really some missiles coming out of the
surprised. I'm looking at the score, 7-3 only. The way it looked, you think it was worse.
Right.
But 7-3 is not a bad game. It's a softball score. And just, again, they didn't hit.
No.
I mean, they had a 2-0 lead. You want to win a game 3-1, I guess. But they're 0-7, and you could say they're in trouble. At what point do we say they're in big trouble? I don't know.
I don't know. It's, and 0-7 is not bad enough. Navy's on the plate.
It's the next. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not a bad thing.
At this point,
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, all the pressure's on AB with it.
Right. That's number one. And number two, if there's ever a game that's going to get AB Cohen's juices
Oh,
flowing,
yeah.
it's against Navy.
Yeah, Navy mentioned that also. AB.
You did say that?
Yeah, he gets
so you know, going to be 0-7 against any other team, maybe against Navy, I think he forgets about the record.
Right.
And he's going to come focused and ready to rock. So maybe this is a good time for them to see Navy. I mean,
really, when you think about it, I mean, all the pressure is definitely on.
Sure.
On Z-Pack.
Again, the last 0-4 team to make a World Series was that Code Red, the 0-6. So this is an 0-7 squad.
Yeah. And by the way, we should mention we've never had a winless team in the.
Never.
No,
wow.
And we've never had an unbeaten team either. So it's.
Well, that's already out of the window.
Yeah, so I'm saying we never had a winless team.
That's very interesting. Again, and people have been saying that Navy's team, the Z-Packs,
the closest was the eligible bachelorettes.
All right, and they got the win against Jeffrey and Maurice. Maurice's Pieces. How could we forget that? That was a fun one. Babe, you know what? You're right. A.B. Cohen's team, I mean, people say one of the knocks on Zach Ashkenazi's team is sometimes their lack of offense.
Yeah.
So maybe it's going to be a low-scoring game, and one hit here, one with there, they pull out a win or two. You never know.
I don't know. I mean, Max pitched a couple of shutouts against the
Indians,
so who knows what maybe he could do. But again, like you mentioned,
AB comes to pitch.
And
I don't know.
Might get extra rest Saturday night. We'll see. So that took you there. That and the final doubleheader on the day.
Yeah, this is the biggest.
Which was a scramble to get this game going.
Right.
It was originally not planned to be played.
It was off. It was on. It was off. It was back on. Not to everybody's likings, I guess.
No,
but it got played.
We had the Ducks coming in in a dangerous situation at 2-4, right? 2-4.
That's right. They were 2-4.
And the A's were 3-3, right?
So the Ducks looked like the team that was behind the 8 ball, right? And the A's felt pretty comfortable going into this game. And for whatever reason it is, I could point out a couple names. Like I know there's guys that clearly say it, like Jackie Towell will say it. He's not high on the Ducks, and a couple people. The Ducks, I got to tell you, credit to them. They find a way.
They find ways. They find ways to win, and they played great defense.
They do.
They played very good defense. So now the story was, they had a major acquisition that day by the name Max Sutton.
All right, I came in for Nathan Zolta. There was
so that was a fill-in to get the game in, and so the Ducks with Malak and Leo coming in, driving all hours of the day to get to the game.
Leo's looking good, baby. He's looking good.
So you saw that. I mean, the A's. Really, the story of this game is Malak really had pulled himself out and said, "Maffey."
Well, first off, you got to give a big shout out to AB Saka for umpiring.
Oh, we should mention besides AB, Jake Dweck, Lisa Carrier,
AB Dweck, who made me laugh very hard.
AB Dweck, NRJ, Mikey even.
Yeah, Carlos. There was more umpires than bases.
And I'm telling you, they were 1,000 times better.
But it worked out well. Now, doing the strike zone is obviously an adjustment, and you have to get used to it. Like NRJ, I think he'll be the first to tell you his high strike was beyond high. But you know what? I guess it went both ways. It was a little tough, but it's umpire. Like you said, we complain about other umpires all the time.
I think there was less complaints.
It probably could have been. The only thing I will say is I don't want to get into why there was arguments, but I'm going to go out and say this, not even in the league. I wish everybody would just be gentlemen sometimes, because there was some screaming going on and fighting, and people get angry at each other, and it's a shame. If it's one thing if it stays on the field, but when it gets off the field, it gets ugly. So I hope everybody why can't we be friends, right? I don't know. Everybody stay friends.
Rodney King said, can we all get along?
Can we all get along? So there was some, point of contention between the two teams here, but for the most part, Bobby said it. Jimmy Malak was on the mound, and like you said, he lost a plate in the middle of the game, and he walked late guys in the lineup. I think it was like 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup. He walked them, and Ali just said, "Give me the ball."
Right.
That first game, what was the final score?
9-6.
Yeah, 9-6. Oh, I made a little bit of a comeback. Yeah. Okay, but it was like 9-3. It was 10. I don't know. Right. It might have even been 10-6. I think. I don't even know. But They made a little comeback at the end, the A's, but they didn't hit like they usually do. And I got to give some credit to Leo Casson. And like you said, the Ducks defense.
No, I thought the defense played very well.
They did. Henry,
well, Henry played great.
He played good up the middle, made some plays.
Yeah, we should mention also on the A's. I tell you, you always told me this, but Sam Loudon played amazing left field.
I'm so happy people are finally seeing it.
Amazing
because
left field.
I always said he could field. I think his first year in the league, he didn't get a good shake because he hurt his ankle and he was on a Cardinal team that actually made the World Series, but he didn't have anything to show for it, and he got like
Eddie Michon's card.
Yeah, Eddie Michon. So he got like, everybody looked at him as like nothing, and then he never got a full chance. So happy people saw him do it because I know he could do it.
Yeah, no, he always told us.
And
it was really, kind of ironic. He was in left, not right, and
Roditi chooses to be in right. He doesn't want to play left field. Really? Very interesting. I never heard that, and he said, "I don't want to play left. Keep me right." And it worked out well because Sam Loudon really played really. He made a couple of beautiful plays in left field. But game one, the story was the Ducks took that early lead, and it just wasn't cool. That was it. Game two.
So now the interesting question for game two was who's going to get the ball.
Right. I was playing as a sub on the A's.
Right.
And I thought Jimmy was going to get the ball. I did. And I made sure to stay quiet. I kept to myself, did my thing, hit, play wherever they told me to play. And Ali ended up starting on the mound. And that was it was interesting because Jimmy going in as their pitcher, and people are saying it's his mindset. Over the last couple of games, he's been pitching great.
Very well.
And I know in scrimmage games and against Navy, 2 strong games, I still think he has, and I still think he has a lot of potential to be a great pitcher.
Well, we kept saying the whole year, it's all the mental aspect of
it.
So.
Could it be that he was feeling guilty that he was playing, that some guys didn't want the game to be played? It was at a weird time of day. Could that be part of it? Maybe. But there
was a lot of back and forth to get this game in.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on and off maybe half a dozen times.
Joey Ashkenazi drove to the city to get a car to drive back. Once he was in deal, you knew that game was happening. He was like, "There's no way in the world we're not playing now." And I understand where he's coming from. He drove like 130 miles to get there.
And also like Nathan Zolta.
Right,
he was no game. He had a barbecue plan.
Right, so that was
his house. You can't just. I mean.
The game happened. Now, game two, the final score is not really indicative of the game. Game two, it was 2-2. It was a close game, 2-2. And I hate to say it, I made a pretty bad error in a big spot. It was first and second, 1 out. Joey Eshko hit like a knuckling line drive that I tried to catch in the air, which I probably should not have. I should have got around it, flipped to second, and that came in for a run, and then just wheels. After that, they just scored and scored. And the problem was we didn't score. Right. The A's, who have a great lineup, just didn't score enough. And that was it.
There was a lot of errors on defense. Let Ali down.
Ended up being a ton of errors after that. We ended up saying this last week, how one sweep could have such a turn to the league.
And then the Ducks got that sweep.
And the Ducks got that sweep is right. Now they have the head-to-head on the A's and a better record, which is really fascinating. People that were down on these Ducks, you got to start giving them credit.
So now the A's on the outside looking in, if the season ended today.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's their record? They're 3-5?
Yeah, 3-5. So,
I mean, it's very early.
No, it's very early. It's just, but like you said, one sweep. I mean,
it's amazing.
Next week,
that's why you really can't look at the standing. Like everything changes. It's incredible.
Right.
So next week,
the Ducks got to be feeling amazing right now.
Oh,
they're loving that trade.
Yeah, Leo's pitching great, and Harry Braw hit the ball well.
Harry Braw, co-player of the week with ABJ.
Is he really?
Yes,
nice.
Yes,
he hit the ball well. He came back after having a really tough week.
4 for 5, and played very good defense. And ABJ 7 for 8.
So Harry had the yips throwing the ball. That was the only thing that was interesting. I don't think it bit him because it kept like rolling to first base, but he really hit the ball great. And like I said, he came back strong. Good for him. And Leo looks comfortable. He's pitching well.
Yeah, no, he's pitching with his friends, and he's got back into the rhythm, and he drove a long way also to get there.
Good for him.
Came. Now, the only team, I guess, that besides I don't even remember the name of the team. AB Sack's team. It's been so long.
Locked in.
They're almost a month since they saw action.
Behind. So we were going to play, but we only had one field to play on, so we couldn't match it up, and not enough players could match up with each other. So we're looking to make up our game, whether it's a Friday, whether it's 3 on a Sunday. we're working on it.
And let's not forget, AB Sack still has a makeup game to play with the Indians.
Unbelievable.
It's really only played 5 games. 7
really,
weeks
really,
the season.
very, very wild. That it's ironic, but it is what it is. Games will get played.
Yeah.
Looking forward now. Let's see next week's matchups.
So we'll see. We should mention also AB Sack did a great job behind the cages. Taping all the games.
Oh, yes.
Highlights of anybody.
I think the coolest highlight was the Jacobatti slide. How he avoided Gindy for his home run. Wow, what a play. And there was a couple of great plays. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was a lot of fun.
That was nice. Okay, so week 5 matchups. And again, some very, very good matchups. Let's start in Playground, which we're going to have the same A's of Ali Marshall versus Raw of Max Sutton.
That's a big one. It's going to be a fun matchup. Looking forward.
Once again, weather permitting.
Yeah, of course. Don't look. Okay. We look. This was, by the way, it's funny. This matchup this week was supposed to be the last week of the season.
Right.
Right.
We're already on week 7.
With no rain, that's would have been the last week of the season.
Wow.
I don't know that because I know I was slated to play the Mets. Interesting. I mean, we both have good lineups. I know that. I'm not giving a prediction as I never do against,
But the A's coming in almost on a must-win or something, a must-split or something.
They need the wins. I'm not going to say more than me. I mean, I don't want to lose anything, but yeah, they're a little bit more desperation because the team that's in front of them is the Ducks,
right?
And they don't have the head-to-head on them.
Now, the big question of the day is who's going to get the ball for
that's a great question.
Game 1, and from all indications, I don't know if it's going to be Jimmy.
Really? You think?
I don't know.
I think Jimmy's going to get the ball again. I do. I think he is the pitcher, and Ali wants to give him every chance to succeed. But is this desperation mode where you don't give him the ball?
All right, let's figure it out now. If he does,
Jimmy will end up at shortstop.
Okay, shortstop, and outfield's pretty solid.
Yeah, Ruby's playing center. Loudon's gonna. I think Loudon gained the starting. Wally Pipp situation happened. I think Sam Loudon's gonna be the left fielder this week, and Nathan Zolta is their starting third baseman,
which is good. So you put Ralph Patu back
at second, where he's great.
Yeah,
and I know Nathan Zolta could play third. I've seen him do it.
Right.
So I don't think they're gonna have an issue. Roditti's in right.
And who's in center again?
Ruby Shalhoub.
Oh, so yeah.
So they're fine. They're very adequate. Shortstop, if it's just going to be either Jimmy or Ali,
right?
Flipping the script.
I mean, they're obviously stronger when Ali's there.
At shortstop, of course. Ali is Gold Glover. Jimmy was having a hard time in the field last week, but I think it was really more because his head was, scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
And he was just really out of it. Jimmy's usually a pretty good fielder as well. So it's a good question. Who's going to be the pitcher?
Yeah. So, I'm assuming if it's Ali, he's probably going to get the ball the rest of the year, if that would be the case. So we'll see.
It's a great question, and my team has to be the one to find out who.
I think I think Raw's going to come for a sweep in this. You have a full squad supposedly this week.
I'm in. I'm missing my catcher, Isaac Mino Dweck, but AB Surya is back from Israel.
So who's your backup catcher now?
And
we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. We'll see. It could be a couple of guys catching. We have a few options.
So Mino's very solid.
Oh, he's been great catching.
That's a big loss, actually.
It is. He was hitting the ball. He had a nice triple his last time up, but I think he's away. I don't know what he's doing. Some type of trip. Let him enjoy himself. He told me before the season. It wasn't a shocker.
By the way, let's mention before we get to the other thing. We're not a big day. We always talk about Joe Greenberg. How about Eric Greenberg?
Yes, Eric's hitting.
He hit the ball very.
It's
he
funny.
Ripped a few shots.
We made a joke that he clocked the ball 2 weeks ago, but he didn't touch first base. So now we practice touching first.
Yeah,
he actually got a couple of key hits up the middle.
Ripped them. Yeah.
Yeah, really hard shots up the middle. Real hits. So yeah, you know what? That could be one of the guys in that lineup that's helping the Ducks that people didn't expect.
Yeah, and Ben Rishti. I mean, the bottom of the lineup.
Ben Rishti, we knew could hit, and good for him. And Jiga, I can't. Well, we'll talk about the Ducks matchup soon.
So, we mentioned shout out to Eric Greenberg for his big week. So that way it's going to be a Playground at the Fireman's East. Great matchup. Another great matchup. Them Bums versus the Ducks.
That's a good matchup because the Ducks are suddenly hot.
Yeah, Ducks are now more confident.
Definitely, and they're going against a good team in And Jacobati loves Leo Katzen too. It's like his old teammate. Yeah. He actually drafted him this year,
but not the pitch.
Okay, whatever. To get Sal, let's see how Sal Fowles hits against Leo. That's an interesting matchup. I'm calling, and I know I'm giving the Ducks all the credit in the world, and I'm tipping my cap to them, and I'm giving them bums to win too.
Really?
Yeah, and I actually face both these teams. Maybe it's because I faced them bums.
Been hanging out with JT lately?
Oh my goodness! Maybe it's because when I faced the Ducks, they didn't look great, and my team actually won them twice. But the them bum team is pretty complete right now, and they're looking good.
They are looking good. I like the
like the mojo that the Ducks are carrying.
The Ducks coming some. No, I just like though they're
have a good vibe.
They fight to the end.
They do. Ways. I gotta give them credit.
And you gotta, they have some veterans there, Henry and ABJ and Eshko and.
The thing is Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey's gonna look at this lineup and think he can handle it.
Right.
Let's see what he does.
I think he's gonna find a way to win a game like they always do.
Split. Let's find. We're talking about them bums. We mentioned every name. I didn't mention David Farka, and David Farka's a real bat. You know, it shows you how deep of a team they are.
They're a great team. Man.
I think Leo might have his work cut out for him against his team. I
remember at the draft, Jacobati couldn't believe that Farka was there.
He landed to him. It was he did a little dance.
And
I think he did a rain dance. That's the problem.
I mean, it's
exactly.
No, they got some major bats with them.
They do.
So those are the matchups at the Firemen. So let's shoot over to Dow East, and we have Locked In versus the Orioles.
So
now
this is AB Sacker's first.
Now Locked In is almost like another spring training back in shape.
This is on which field? This is the one
on East without the
Coors Field, whatever. So this is more, the field doesn't really change anything. This is AB Sacker's biggest challenge.
Yeah,
this is his biggest challenge.
Going with a team with a full squad, and they've been off for a month. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt them, but it probably hurt them. I would think
it could hurt them. I mean, the thing about the Orioles team, as good as they're playing, they still have two bats in that lineup that have yet to really explode. Like Jordy Ramel didn't explode. He has a lot of runs, but he didn't explode yet. And Albert Zolta really hasn't hit the ball yet either. And I know these two guys could hit. So they're like a bottle waiting to pop. I mean, Maurice Haber maybe sooner or later
he might
has to cool down. Yeah, he's got to. Is Shalou going to cool down? Nobody thinks so.
He might cool down to 800 maybe.
It's amazing. Really ridiculous.
He's ridiculous.
It's disgusting. It's like another world right now. But this is a really good matchup. I like the fact that, like you said, is AB Sacker going to have is he going to have the team is not really even gelled yet. I'm calling the Orioles to win too.
I go with you on this one. I think the Orioles are the better. Not that I would say the better team. I just think right now they're
more gelled right now.
Yeah,
they have more games to figure their team out.
And I think they're winning game 2 was a big confidence booster.
It was big,
so
very big. And I still think AB Sackett doesn't have the liberty of figuring out his team.
Right.
Like, I don't even know if he's so 100% on who's his third baseman full time.
Still doesn't know that.
Right? Is Nathan playing left full time? And everybody else sort of already figured that out. So it's a little.
Yeah. Well, he does have an abundance of outfield. Like, you could stick Albert sit there would be very adequate for game 2. Now the question is, you put Robert Tobias at third, or
it's something he has to figure out. Now he has a cushion. He's 4-1.
Yeah.
So he's not in he's not in a scary situation. And another thing about AB is he really never faced the full squad, right?
Yeah. No.
So this could be
full
also
squad or even a full pitcher.
Right. So now Max Edid is hungry to play here. This could be a rude awakening. It might be, this is what games are,
Yeah.
So
and then after this week, if we ever get it in, he's going to have to play an abundance of games down the stretch. So
it might be on Fridays. Could be 3 on a Sunday. If anybody could do 3 on a Sunday, it's AB Saka. So
it'll be interesting to see. But
so we're both in agreement over there.
The Orioles impressed me. I like the team. The final matchup today is Z-Pack versus the Indians.
Nice.
And
so now it's.
I mean, you made a great point. AB's probably going to be extra juice.
I think he's coming juice. I think he's sleeping extra on Shabbat, and he's eating whatever he's supposed to eat, and he's going to take his vitamins and say his prayers, as Hulk Hogan would say. I think he's coming out. I never say splits. That's my rule of thumb over here. But I have to say a split because I do think the Indians are going to come out with their first win. I think it's going to be game 1. I think it's going to be like a 2-1 score, maybe like an Eddie Michon hit or somebody getting a bloop type hit to get 1 or 2 runs. John Eliezer doing something special. And I think AB's going to pitch his heart out game 1. I hate to say this. I think game 2.
You might have had their 4th mercy.
Exactly. I think game 2, Z-Pack is going to be angry and going to come out strong. So I don't like calling splits, but I'm actually calling a detailed split here. A low-scoring AB Cohen winning game 1.
Wow.
And Navy with the Z-Pack organization coming back in game 2.
I don't see a prayer for the Indians in this matchup. I really don't. No, I'll be honest. I just don't. I just. I think the confidence is just all-time low. I mean, the only thing they have going for them right now is AB's out to
prove something.
But again, how much could he do it? After game, if they don't win game 1,
then they could just mail it in. I get it, but I'm just thinking, I don't know. They're still.
I think there's no such thing as a moral victory, but at this point, but
and you know what? I mean, you never say never. They have hope. You're still coming every Sunday morning to play ball.
Yeah.
If I'm coming for a choose-up game, once you're between the lines and you play the game, you play to win, right? So I know their confidence is down. I think if AB really comes to play and they're I'm hoping for them, but
I'll tell you what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I'm wrong in this prediction.
You're hoping
it goes the other way around.
I get it.
Because I'll tell you that Indian team will be at a flying high.
Oh, if they win 2 against them, forget it. And it's funny because that would really change the standings in a big way.
Oh, for sure. You're kidding me? The Indians all of a sudden have 2 wins. They got Navy out of the way.
And they have another game in hand against AB Saka's team that didn't play yet. Nothing will be done yet. So
if they can win, like you said, game 1, and he might just get that extra juice to get game 2.
You never know. Let's find out. But I'm calling a split on that
one. Maybe they have Moses warming up at the bullpen. Forget to save in game 2.
Say, hey, if he's there, if he's ready, the weather is going to be hot enough, right? Maybe not.
No, it won't be 98. Sorry, he won't be ready. But it should be once again an exciting week if we ever get the games in.
Yes.
Great matchups.
By the way, if we don't get the games in, I don't think we have to predict anymore. We just have to rewind and see all of our predictions.
You're right.
We predicted every single matchup. Oh, my goodness. But things change, obviously, and we have fun talking here.
Yeah, we got to check to see our, Francis, keep tabs of how our predictions
over, under?
Not like how
that stuff, yeah.
How we did every week. I don't even know how we do every week.
I don't either. But it should be a fun matchup.
All I know is I did pick that the A's and the Indians will not make the playoffs, and so far the season ended today.
Out of the playoffs. It ended right now. That's scary. The truth is, we have a lot of season to go, and if we have rain, there's one thing we can't control is the weather till we build the dome. But it is what it is. So good luck, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And the trading deadline is officially
no, it's over. The trading deadline is done.
Except for me and AB Saka, right? If we want to make a trade with each other, I'm joking.
Yeah,
but
no, it's done.
It's done. Trading deadline's over. So your teams are your teams. So I think sooner or later we should do team photos. Jimmy Malach mentioned after the trading deadline we'll do team photos.
That would be a good idea.
So maybe if weather permitting, or maybe we should wait for a nice day. I don't know, but team photos will be soon.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing everybody hopefully out in the fields again on Sunday, and just need a little cooperation, and we'll get the games in. And
Morid Hatal.
Yeah.
We'll see you. Thank you very much.
And we need Sutton and Sons Landscape.
I don't know if we'll do that again. Good luck.